So where are we going today?
Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Because we left Palubi Park where we're staying, and we thought, oh, we'll go and check out, we're doing another loop drive, and thought we'd go and check out Murphy's Haystacks and a few bits and pieces, and we didn't get far because slowly but surely we are retracing John Eyre's steps across the Eyre Peninsula with all of our travels, and we just can't resist if we see one of those places where the explorers once were. And apparently he stopped here with his team to stock up on water and have a bit of a rest, which is always interesting out here because there's so little water. So I'm going to go and check it out, see what's here. So you can go back in previous episodes, actually. I think we've got, was there an episode we did on, so there's a great donation camp at Kimba, and there's a great walk just out of Kimba. We've done Mount Woodner. We've camped a donation camp just out of Mount Woodner. So if you go back in previous episodes, we'll pop them in the description. But yeah, there's quite a bit and a few different places that we've been to on the Eyre so far. So, you know, this is the great thing, isn't it? Can always go and
John Eyre was here in 1840.
Some more. 1840. Wow. Makes me feel young. That wasn't even far to walk, Katie.
Which is good.
And it looks to me like it's a hole in the ground these days.
Well, I think it was always a hole in the ground, maybe, but looks a bit dry. Oh no, there's a little bit of. I wouldn't like to be drinking it. But.
So.
He established a depot here in 1839 on his first expedition to the region, and used it as a base camp when he returned in 1840 to make his exhibition from Port Lincoln all the way around the Great Australian Bight to King George Sound in Western Australia.
I know. Can you imagine? Everyone that carries on about the Nullarbor these days.
Yes.
Going across. Imagine doing it with horse and cart and... Oh, well, actually, I don't even know if they had. I guess they did have carts for supplies, but I mean, just on horseback, even.
Horseback and a couple of horses, I think, from memory.
Yeah, and we're all cruising around now in our rolling homes with everyone's got their bloody coffee machines and their barbecues, and these guys were doing it tough. And I guess that's kind of why we like to retrace it all and have a think about what they went through. We've got a bit cushy these days, haven't they? Because, you know, we turn on a tap and these guys were finding water wherever they could. I love reading all these, like, the diary entries of the explorers and stuff like that when you see it on the signs, and it says this curious little hole contained water from 5 to 7 inches in depth, the level of which was maintained as rapidly as a person could bail it out. This was the sole supply for the Eyre team and horses, but it was never a failing one, and obviously it was used by the Indigenous as well as a water hole, like a reliable source of water. And I just think that's amazing, because when you actually look around to where we are, to think, and like you can really imagine it, can't you? Like them turning up here and they're hot and thirsty and the horses are thirsty, and that little hole, they're just like bailing it out as quick as they could, and it's just replenishing. Although it's not now, obviously.
Well, I think you could dig it out a little bit.
Probably if we dug it, it would.
There's definitely water in there, but...
Yeah, oh yeah, there is water down the bottom there.
Yes,
anyway.
You want to clean it out a good bit before you start drinking it, and probably want to boil it.
I think I would have been getting my old cheesecloth bloomers and straining the water and doing all of that. Imagine what my stomach would have done if I had that. Anyway, you know, it's not hard, to find things to do out here, is it? Right, let's go. What's next?
Haystacks, unless we get distracted on the way.
Oh, well, that's easily done, isn't it? Hey?
What did you find?
Right, well, here we are at Murphy's Haystacks, which I'm pretty excited about because this has been on my list for a long time and you haven't seen it, have you?
No.
So therefore it was on your list too, love. Joint list. And we haven't even got through the shelter yet. Unfortunately, they say the best time to be here is sunrise or sunset, but that hasn't worked out for us today. You know what it's like when you're on the road travel-wise, just doesn't always
come back some other time.
Well, yeah, and you can actually camp here in the car park overnight as well. There's toilets. It is a donation to come in, and you know, as always, keep it honest. But we haven't even got through the door because in here is the Haystacks honey, and it's nothing better than local honey. They all just taste so different. So, I've got so much honey at the moment because we've just been to Beechworth recently. So I have to have a little think about that while we're walking around. Aiden doesn't eat honey, so, you know.
I'm sweet enough.
Well, I was going to say you've already got your honey. Anyway, local honey. Haystacks honey. This one today is a Coastal Mallee honey. It's got where the hive location is, and if you haven't rocked up with your cash, that's all right too, because they've got their BSB details as well, which is great.
You're taking more pictures again. Taking more pictures again.
Well, it's not a bad donation camp, is it?
No.
I'm a bit bummed out that we didn't bring the van today.
Got toilets,
We're out
barbecue
queuing.
shade area, picnic area, and wheat field. So
Yeah, and ironically, as you know, I'm a celiac, but I love being surrounded by wheat fields. I don't know, there's just something about the noise of the wind swishing through the wheat.
it's almost ready to harvest. I'd say if they can get the
Moisture down.
content down. But
Yeah, because where we're staying at the moment, Jazz, sorry, excuse me, we're staying at Palubi Park as a base, and Jazz was telling us that they're having trouble getting the moisture content down, ready to harvest at the moment, which is annoying for them. But it is spectacular when you see the wheat like that, with the sun shining on it, the gold, you know, and it just goes for so far. So yeah, I don't get far before I feel the need to try and always capture that elusive shot. Because I love the heads of the wheat, the way the sun shines on them. Gorgeous. Hey, did you notice I've got my boots back on today, everyone? Had enough of that beachy thong weather yesterday. The only thong you'll ever see me in, by the way, is the one on my foot. But I have got back to my good old boots and kookaburra socks today, because I knew we'd be traipsing around out in the bush, even though we might end up at the beach by the sounds of it, but
who knows?
So they're granite, aren't they?
Yes, they're called Inselbergs, but now we can go and have a look at them. They're quite unique.
Wow. And as per usual, do we repel people?
Well, no, there was people here when we turned up. But
Well, two lots of people, and they've gone, so we're the only ones here right now, which I've got to say makes for great photography. And apart from the fact that you just can wander around and enjoy it yourself, it's great for the YouTubing, because we don't have to worry about other people being in the shots or anything like that. Here, I'll stand here to give people some perspective of how big they are.
I was just about to warn you not to touch them in case you did the Outlander thing and went through the stone.
I just thought that as I leant on it, and I was like, oh, no, that's for when we go to Scotland, that one.
But yes, you're what, 160?
Yeah, I'm 5'7", thereabouts.
So yes, it's
167 centimetres or something like that.
quite significantly taller than you.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how it's all sculpted out there and smooth.
Yeah, but what I like is how they've weathered away from each other, I guess they have. Anyway, there's plenty of granite rocks around Australia to explore. But this is Murphy's Haystacks on the Eyre Peninsula. Everyone, don't miss it. Come and camp here at sunset or sunrise if you can. This one's just amazing, the curvature of it. I guess that's what kind of makes this unique.
Yeah, well,
I was reading in the car, I think they said 1,500 million years old.
it's amazing how it supports itself.
Yeah, and for the weathering to have occurred.
And then you've got some more here.
And the interesting thing is, obviously, if you can have a look around in this, there's a cluster of granite just here. But when you're looking around, in the distance and everything, the distance views, there's no granite unless it's under the ground still. I mean, there's plenty of granite in the area, and actually up on that hill you can see granite. But I'm just saying, in the immediate vicinity, this was the only cluster. But I will say, we've seen a lot of granite rocks in our travels, and this is different. Because that bit that's sculpted away there, I mean, obviously these must be bits of it, but...
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
Might have turned to sand.
Oh, is it alien-like? You know, this is what I always think. Now, this one's got a big crack through the middle, through the base here. So you wouldn't want to be around if that decides to...
Well, there's one up there at the top too.
Do its thing. You know, I mean, really, how many photos of rocks do you need? But
No, there's more up there.
yeah, I know you're not done with your walking yet. What did you say?
You keep telling me to go in front of you so I can be on camera, but we're walking away, so all you want to do is look at my arm.
Look at your ass, did you say? Oh, come on now. God, tickets on yourself much. Anyhow, the exciting thing is I thought we were done.
No,
But wait,
there's more.
there's more. And I just want to know, where are all the tourists, Aidan?
Oh, we're probably just before the peak summer season.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean, it won't, well, people wouldn't come out here too much when it's completely, you know, 45 degrees, 40 plus out here, be a bit warm.
Yeah, but it's not school holidays, so...
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing it right now. But there's plenty of other nomads on the road. And I know at dusk or whatever, it's probably quite busy.
They're probably still trying to get off Ningaloo like everyone else that we've been watching.
But well, you know what it's like out here. We just don't stumble upon those places. Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh, another sign.
Geez, this one looks a bit interesting, doesn't it? Hey? Talking about the lichens. Is that what you really want? A bit of lichen on your bump there? I'm liking it a lot.
The calcareous sand.
Do you see how he ignores my nonsense, everyone? Just ignores.
33,600 years old.
Yeah, crazy. I know.
Yes, more signs to read, and interestingly, this is called Hiltaba granite, which is named after a homestead in the Western Gawler Ranges, which is on our list to visit. Isn't that right?
It definitely is on our list to visit. It's a bit of a special place to some of the family that we have, but we just haven't managed to get out there yet. So we need to get out there and have a look at that.
It's quite interesting, really. Everywhere we go, we seem to either find a link to somewhere we've been or somewhere we want to go.
Or someone we know. That's the 6 degrees of separation, isn't it? Oh, actually, I'm just kind of like freaking out right now because look inside there. I thought that was it, Aidan. Okay, so...
Oh, look at that cool curve.
If you watch YouTube,
like
everyone, you know...
Through there.
Look at it. Photo opportunities. If you watch our YouTube, then you know that we are rock nerds, and so feel free to fast forward. doesn't interest everyone. Wow. I'm just going to shut up for a while, okay? Because did you hear those birds? They're actually up under the rocks in the shade in the cool. And it's just so beautiful. I'm just going to sit down for a bit.
There's lots of bird poo around on some of the
And enjoy it and
crevices.
watch. This is one of the great things, isn't it? Hey?
Yes, and there's nobody else around.
And so, can I just say, even though we do the YouTube and you see us taking a lot of photos and things, which is just like, that's my... I was saying to Aidan yesterday, when I take photos and things, it really makes me focus on what I'm looking at rather than thinking about 100 million other things. And so that's become a real mindfulness thing for me since I started travel. And even though you do see us YouTubing and doing the content and posting and all of that, we do take a lot of time just to sit, and you only see a fraction of what we do. You know, we do, particularly if there's no one around like this, perfect opportunity just to sit and enjoy it and be mindful and listen and observe. And that's often when you observe the most interesting things, the nature and lizards and snakes or whatever's around. So it's interesting.
They do look absolutely amazing, and yes, from the distance they could be mistaken as haystacks, but up close you can definitely see that they're not. But just the curves and everything on the rock, and you can see where there's pieces that will fall off and cracks, and just quite amazing. See up there, there's like a big shelf piece that's just sitting on top that one day will fall. Yes, there's quite a lot. And a lot more than we expected to see. Oh, I'm just looking at it now.
So this is what they were talking about with the coloration, with the lichen and everything. But look at the colours on that and the way it's just balancing. Oh my God. So tomorrow we're leaving Palubi, which is Palubi Park where we're staying, and then we'd thought about coming here with the van. Now I'm like, maybe we need to come here and stay the night. Get the full experience. Imagine what these are like at golden hour. Oh, see, these are the things. You've got to just keep putting stuff back on your revisit list.
Well, I think we will be revisiting here, but
yeah,
probably not tomorrow, since we're only going to be driving 60 odd Ks if we drive to here tomorrow.
Well, that's okay. We could be in grey nomad training. Some people only do that. That would look so cool when there's water on it.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it?
As long as that crack up there doesn't break away while you're standing under.
Oh, God, you're the prophet of doom, aren't you? I'm pretty impressed with the colours, I've got to say.
But it's funny, you look at this rock and you go, oh, yeah, it looks like that one over there. And then you just wander around and come around this side and it's all scalloped out and eroded and dead smooth. And
it's so
absolutely
smooth.
Stunning colours.
And actually be quite slippery if it was wet. But amazing.
And what have you spotted? Oh,
Oh, he's gone. Little blue tongue. They're all looking so healthy at the moment.
there's lots of ants around there, so that's what he's eating.
Yeah. For people who are watching from overseas, if you haven't seen our blue tongue lizards, or what's the other one called, the fatty boombar ones?
Shingleback?
Shingleback lizards. I'll move out the way and Aidan can show you that you'll see that the tail is shaped very similar to the head, if you can get in there, love. And that's, you know, part of their camouflage or trickery when they're hiding in the bushes. You can see now that his head is very similar shape to his tail, so if a predator comes, they're kind of, when at first glance, not sure what they're looking at.
Well, I think they try and give their tail so that they can lose the tail and regrow it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've done the loop around, and there's definitely a lot more here than we were expecting when we turned up.
Yes.
The main photos are that one that's just in front of us there, but you rarely see these ones behind us in the photos.
Actually, it is, you know, as we said when we came in, private property, but they have done a really nice job. They've provided shaded shelters to have picnic or lunch or whatever. So it's definitely worth the $2 donation, I think, to come in. They keep it, obviously they keep it mown, and you know, the views are just absolutely stunning. So Murphy's Haystacks, everyone.
Put it on your list if it's not already on there.
Yeah, pop that one on your Eyre Peninsula list. How much time do you think you need? I mean, we fart ass around. So, how long have we been here for?
About an hour.
Yeah, so allow yourself a good hour, or even better, come and camp overnight. That'd be my pick. Because then you could wander around at golden hour. But we'll do that some other time. As always, thanks so much everyone for joining us in this week's episode as we checked out Murphy's Haystacks. Don't forget to tune in next week where we check out more of the stunning Eyre Peninsula, including the famous sea lion colony of Point Labatt. See you then.